Well, the other big story we're tracking today, should India give up some of its territory in order to resolve the border dispute with China? Well, that's what the governor of Arunachal Pradesh and the former Army Chief General J.J. Singh has publicly suggested, saying that India should move away from its position that its territory is non-negotiable. The governor's comments have created quite a stir.
Should India be ready to give up territory for settling the border dispute with China? Contrary to India's known official position, former Army Chief and Governor of Arunachal Pradesh, General J.J. Singh thinks so. Speaking at a seminar last month, General Singh said, "It is important to solve the India-China border dispute, and for that, some give and take is necessary. India will have to move away from our position that our territory is non-negotiable." This is the first time anyone in a constitutional position has spoken against India's consistent position of not ceding any territory, based on a unanimous resolution by Parliament in 1962. What prompted the governor to take this stand is not clear. His office also refused to react officially. India and China have been discussing their boundary dispute for over a quarter of a century now, trying to find a way out of the complicated issue, but both have stuck to their respective positions of not disturbing populated areas. But will the general's statement now put India on the defensive? In New Delhi, Nitin Gokhale for NDTV.
So should India cede territory to China in order to resolve the border dispute? Is that the practical way to look at the border dispute with China? We have our eminent panel still with us. Let me ask General Malik first. General Malik, are you a little surprised that the governor of Arunachal Pradesh has said this?
Well, I am a little surprised because this is a political statement, but then he is the governor. But frankly, Nidhi, I do not know in what context he made this statement. You know, and it's very difficult for somebody to pass a judgment on this whole issue. I don't know whether he is talking in terms of boundary. If you talk of boundary, then it means certain areas occupied by them, like Aksai Chin, the whole area is occupied.
He did. I'll read out the exact quote to you, because he said this at a seminar. It is important to realize, he said, that we need a speedy resolution to the Indo-China boundary dispute, and for that some give and take may be necessary. These are his exact words. So he did mean it in the context of the boundary.
Look, so firstly, as I said, yes, we need to resolve it. There is no there is nothing about that statement. I think everybody would agree that India and China need to resolve the boundary issue. Now, how we resolve it, Aksai Chin is with them, certain areas, they think like Tawang, they are with us. So whether there is a give and take there. The other thing I must tell you, Nidhi, that even if you carry out a joint survey of the boundaries, you will find that there are a large number of cartographic errors on both sides. Because what has been drawn on the map today, both the Chinese maps as well as in our maps, those were drawn decades earlier when the method of mapping were not so accurate. So when you carry out a joint survey, whether it is of line of actual control or of the boundary, whichever way you take it, you will find that certain areas there is a cartographic errors, and they will have to be resolved. And that means that there will have to be some give and take.
I just wanted to get a reaction from Manish Tiwari first. Manish, how does the Congress react to this statement by the governor? Incidentally, we did speak to his office today. He has not denied that he has made this statement, but he didn't want to comment on it any further. Is this something that the Congress party endorses?
Nidhi, I think you need to see this entire issue in a certain perspective. I think out of the 14 land disputes which China has, it has resolved 12, except for 2, one with India and the other with Bhutan. Their real unresolved disputes are on their maritime boundaries, and I think at the last count, if I can recollect properly from the top of my head, it's about 16 or 17. But having said that, you know, there is a special representatives process in play. And anybody who's been involved with that process, and I think Mr. Brajesh Mishra had led it from the Indian side for a while, you know, there's a need to be circumspect, there is a need to be cautious, there is a need not to be in a hurry Because let's understand that the Middle Kingdom, when it looks at things civilizationally, it possibly does not look at it in the same time paradigms as possibly India or maybe some of the other Western countries would want to look at it. So having said that, I do not know as to in what context those remarks were made, whether they were personal, whether they were intellectual, whether they were made
at a
in a seminar, not reflecting the governor's official or not reflecting India's official position, because India's official position remains the same, that there's a special representative process, we are engaged, and we are allowing that process to play itself out.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news, and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.